Welcome to EPL 24x7, guys. My name is Anisha Huja, and it's a middle of an international break going on right now as there are international fixtures going on, which I also saw England versus Uruguay. Then you had USA versus, I think, Belgium. So, but let's get into the breaking news from this week. We had we had Liverpool's Mo Salah, legendary player Mo Salah, leave Liverpool this year, one of the greatest players in the Premier League after a decade of dominance, goals, and forgettable moments, leaving Liverpool officially. It just got announced, I believe it got announced on Tuesday, that he'll be leaving Liverpool at the end of the 2025-2026 season. But we don't know where he's going, which league he's going. But he's probably going to go towards Saudi Arabia or the MLS, here in US only, because they earn like a lot of money in these leagues, even though they have small teams like Saudi Arabia, but like all the big players, like, you have Ronaldo, you have you have Ronaldo, you have Karim Benzema, uh you have Karim Benzema, you have Karim Benzema, you have Ronaldo, you have what else? Firmino and other, really popular players that once also played in the Premier League. So let's get right into it. This is not just, I guess you would say, a transfer. We all knew this breaking news would happen one day or another, but I guess the surprising part is like that it happened, during this time and not at the end of the season, where like I think he was starting to get a little bit into form, so like we completely ignored about the fact, of him leaving. So it was just about the timing thing that we all knew he was having a terrible season compared to last year where he had 20 goals, I think. And let me check how many assists he had. I believe it's 13 assists. Yeah, Mohamed Salah finished the 2024-2025 Premier League with uh 18 Premier League assists and 20 goals, which shocked everybody because like he won, I think, no, I don't, yeah, he won the Premier League goal award for the most goals and the Playmaker of the Year award. So doing one player doing both of the most popular awards in the Premier League, it was extraordinary. Like last season was one of his best, I would say, out of all of the 9 seasons he played for. And this year, I don't know what's happened to him. Like, is it a relationship between Arne Slot and Mo Salah that's ruining him? Or is it just like, one season he plays really good and now, he drops off a little bit. Now we all expect high expectations, for such a good player like him, that now we've seen such a decrease in him from his usual expectations, which he's definitely not. There's no argument to say that he's not playing at it how he played last year. There can't be any argument like that. So I don't know what has happened, but let's come to the previous seasons talking about. First, he joined Liverpool in 2017. We did not know what would be coming next, how he would have an extraordinary career like this at Liverpool. But he scored over 250 goals for Liverpool in all competitions. Just imagine. Like, we all talk about Ronaldo, Messi, he could also be considered like him only, even though he doesn't have less goals, He has less goals and less appearances, but how he plays, in the style, if you see his matches, how he plays and like gives assists to other people. The way he, I love his one of his shots, like where comes from this side and he kind of curls it in, which is extraordinary, And he also won multiple Premier League titles, I believe. Let me check. I think he won around three Premier League titles or two. I remember one was in COVID. So they won last year. They won 2019, 2020. Yeah, two Premier League titles that he won from when he came here. They also won one Champions League title. I think they won one FA Cup title, which is like less than what Ronaldo and Messi did, but because he only played for 9 years soccer, he played for Liverpool 9 years. Like that's a pretty good amount, and like especially up to expectations, He's he's just a really good individual person, and also when it comes to teamwork, he passes a lot. His efficiency in passing is really good. His way of style of playing, his shooting, But let's come to why is he leaving now? He's 33. He could have been playing next year, Liverpool just signed a contract last summer only, for him to stay for I think for one more year, I believe, and now he's officially saying that he's leaving. His age is 33. So, if you see players like, Casemiro, who's also leaving this summer from Manchester United, we don't know what club he's going for, so it's basically like the same only. Um, these big players like Ronaldo, Casemiro, Salah, they're all leaving like, the Premier League at 33, 34 age around, to go to some like really, really top league, as they get into their final years of their career, into like Saudi Arabia, those kind of leagues. Even if you also take Firmino, he was such a good player for Liverpool. And, oh yeah, and Sadio Mane, that was the person I was forgetting. They had such extraordinary careers at like Liverpool, and now they're also playing. I don't watch the Saudi Pro League that much, compared to the Premier League, but like I think they're playing really good, So I think if Salah moves to like the Saudi or the MLS, whatever he chooses, it's all about money basically, and your teammates, the team you go to, it's basically all about that. I think it would be, it would be different from the Premier League, but you have really physical, so it would be a little more easier in the Saudi League or the MLS, But Premier League, it's really physical, like, especially this season, if you see how congested the table is, like, it's extraordinary. And if you guys remember in December, last year only, in 2025, he had a bad, conflict with Arne Slot, the Liverpool manager, that he kept, I think 3 games in a row, Arne Slot kept him on the bench, and I think the trip to Galatasaray in December, I think he didn't even travel with them to Galatasaray to play. He was left alone, and this caused some conflicts. He had an interview where, he was indirectly speaking bad about Arne Slot, it feels like I don't even exist anymore in this Liverpool team. Like, maybe it's because of that, and he's now like, I don't really want to be with this manager for one more year, and I want to play for another league, and I'm done with the Premier League, and like maybe his relationship, I guess, affected him, or it could be like, he's done with Premier League and he just wants to choose a new chapter, ahead, and like before his deal fully closes out, this I think it's the perfect time, because I think Liverpool, yes, they spend a lot during the summer, but I think now with Mo Salah leaving, which I think controversially is one of the problem why Liverpool are not doing that good season, is that they relied too much on him last season, and now this season when he's not playing good, Liverpool doesn't play good. So I feel like they're relying on him too much, and it'll be a big change for him and Liverpool, in the upcoming season. So I actually kind of think Mo Salah leaving at the end of the season is good. It's like a win-win for both, you know. Mo Salah gets to go into like upper top leagues, like the Saudi, and like earn more money, and it's a new chapter, and like now Liverpool, they get to play like free flow, not just relying on one person. So that's what I believe. And surprisingly, then there's been a lot of offers. Like we're talking about the offers, but then they're not bidding anything at all. Like I don't think there's been any bids. I'm not sure it's because of his age or like he's been playing like horrible. Like I'll honestly say he's been playing horrible this year. Absolutely trash, horrible. He's just, I don't know what happened to him this year. Like I thought, with the new attackers coming in, Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, then you have Frimpong. I think I thought with all of those, Liverpool would be an unstoppable team. Like everybody thought they would be an unstoppable team, but like after I think Diego Jota is dead at the age of 31, after a car crash, then Luis Diaz left and Darwin Núñez left. I think Mo Salah also misses him a lot because I was seeing some of the videos with him. He like he used to, frequently he had a good relationship with them. Like now, if you see his training videos, he doesn't really talk that much. Or after the match, he doesn't really talk that much with his teammates compared to last year, where he had so much fun. I just don't know what happened to him this year. Like it's it's really surprising, I would say. Wait, give me 1 minute. Yeah, and I like think that he's I think one of the best Premier League icons, inspirational icon. Some of like the top figures like Gerrard, then you have Alan Shearer, you have Carragher. I think he should be, and he's definitely considered as one of the top players, like those famous icons did. I feel like I just think I'm just like confused now that where would Mo Salah go and how would Liverpool be next year? Definitely put in the comments where you think which league do you think he would go next year, and what would happen to Liverpool, because it's just like they're not. Maybe it's because of like fixture congestion. That they're in FA Cup, then they're in the Premier League, they have Champions League. So it's really like I don't. I honestly don't know what's happening to them. Like it's really weird that a champions. It's just, and I wouldn't say weird. It's really embarrassing, that they were first last year. They won the Premier League, and now this year they're fifth place. And we don't know if fifth place. I mean, most likely it will, but let's say it doesn't get Champions League, because like Liverpool or Arsenal get knocked out, which they probably won't. But like, let's say if they get knocked out, now fifth places of uncertainty, that will they get Champions League, and what happens if Liverpool misses Champions League? Will there be a lot of financial drop down, and what what will happen to them? That's like my major concern. But coming back to Mo Salah, I feel like, is he the major cause of Liverpool leaving? Or is it just Liverpool? Like, Mo Salah individually is such a great, talented player. One of the top players, like, at least since I was born, I've seen. Because I remember when I used to watch, in 2017, the Premier League, I was a huge supporter of Liverpool. Now I'm a Manchester United fan, which you guys probably find it's really weird, because, like, Liverpool and Man United are big rivals. But I've Liverpool, Mo Salah and Liverpool, like they were so good in 2017. until 2024, and this year, like, it's complete drop down for him individually, for the whole team. But I just don't want to talk about the negative things. I want to talk about the positive things. He had he had the most, I think, goal expectancy, that he could score a goal anytime against top players like Wayne Rooney or Erling Haaland, and I'm absolutely just gonna miss them. Like, is Liverpool's era done now? That these 9 years they had with him, is it like come to an end now and it's completely gonna collapse now? Like, Liverpool could probably be in next year in the bottom half without him. What will happen to his career? Like, those are some of the biggest questions I have, and I bet you guys also have a lot of questions about this. But in my opinion, I feel like Mohamed Salah, he should be offered to a team like Saudi Arabia for his extraordinary talent. Like the way he like drives all of the players, to like put all your efforts in, basically think this as a life or death, so like in that kind of manner, I absolutely love him. Like he's he's one of the most inspirational players. Like, I remember, I think when I used to play soccer, like 6 or 7 years ago, I I used to watch him every game, try to do his shots, like a curling. I mean, obviously, like I wasn't so good at it, because I was so young, but he was just so amazing to watch. And in this year, I think I believe he has four four, uh, let me check how many goals he has uh, uh 5 Premier League goals. And at this stage of time, I think he had around 14 or 15 goals. So, like, just look at that major drop down. Like, it's just sad also to see the way he's ending. That I hope he helps Liverpool finish in the top four, even though like we don't like him. But I hope he has a fantastic end after this April break. And he pushes Liverpool to like get into the Champions League spots, which I certainly think with all the players they have, they can do it. I think Alexander Isak also might have a chance to get back after international break. So like, I have confidence in them, but like, it's like they win one game, then they lose one game, then they draw one game, then they lose one game, then they win one game. Like, first you guys lose to Wolves, then you guys draw against Tottenham, last minute conceder, Wolves last minute conceder, then Brighton you lost 2-1. Like, come on, bro, what is this? This is just embarrassing for a top team to lose against a bottom team, Wolves, who have like, I think 3 wins only. Like, it's horrible. And yes, Salah got his first goal at Wolves, but like, it didn't help at all. It didn't help at all, and I was really frustrated by that thing. That Salah isn't even like, I would say Salah shouldn't be. Salah is a good player, but like the way he performed this year is horrible, and I hope he changes it in the future. And after international break and what that ends in about 15 days, that he could have a nice ending. A good farewell in a good position for a good position. So I hope that like he has a good farewell on the last day when they, I think, go to Anfield, I believe. What's Liverpool's last match? Uh, in fact, the last match is at Anfield only, so hopefully he can improve by then. But I would say in general he's such an extraordinary player. Despite the drop off this year, he's a very talented, extraordinary memorable, inspirational, and so on. Like, the way he's helped Liverpool, I hope Liverpool never forget him and the work he does. He's totally inspirational. Like, he helped Liverpool win two Premier League titles, all by, I mean, I wouldn't want to say all by himself, but like mostly all by himself. Not even Manchester United can do that. So the I would give like hats off to Mo Salah, bro. Such a good player, such a good player. Well, that ends it today. We'll see you next time in about 1 week from now on, around 5th or 6th weekend, 1 weekend before the Premier League action starts. And thank you for joining us in EPL 24x7. Comment and subscribe and like. Thank you.